It's important to dig into the backgrounds of the principals of the company. This includes looking at the founders, especially if they are still major shareholders of the company. You will also want to look into the executives and members of the board of directors. In general, the analysis of the people should include the personal history to the extent that it is available, their professional background, including prior employment, degrees, certifications, and industry expertise, ownership or affiliation with other companies, past and present, and compensation agreements, including salary, benefits, and non-traditional forms of compensation, like stock options. Sometimes you will find very little online or in public records about a particular person. There's not much background information available about them. Little has been written in the news or online. Their name doesn't appear often in corporate filings or legal documents. And the person generally seems to avoid activity that can be recorded in some way. Has this person not been involved in significant things? Or is he or she purposely avoiding a paper trail? While you may find that one or two of the key players involved with the company have sparse information available about them, generally the players will have much more data accessible. If a thorough search turns up little information, it may be wise to focus instead on those with more of a documented history. Specific things you may want to investigate with regard to the executives, board members, and other key players include their relationships with other companies. Does he or she sit on the board of directors of other companies? Do multiple key players in the current company sit on boards of directors of other companies together? Is the player also a vendor to the company? Does the player have companies, family members, or friends who have special arrangements with the company? What about political affiliations? Executives often become politically involved, sometimes out of necessity, as their industry or company may be dependent on lobbying activities to further their interests. Federal and state election commissions provide information about political contributions, and they often have databases that are searchable by person and by company. Look at the charity involvement of individuals. The charitable activities can tell you a lot about his or her interests. Beware, however, that nonprofit organizations, such as foundations, can be used for nefarious purposes, such as tax shelters or money laundering. Most nonprofits must file IRS Form 990, Return of Organization Exempt from Income Tax. The public does have access to these filed forms, and some very interesting information can be gleaned from them. Look at an individual's criminal and civil court history. Understanding the legal history of individuals and companies is critical to any background investigation of a public company. It's really important to know where the company has run into trouble, the ethical challenges the principals may have had, and whether the involved parties just seem to be litigious. In addition to court records, valuable information can be found through related databases with data such as arrest records, incarceration records, or sex offender databases. You should also pay special attention to judgments against individuals, as financial pressures may motivate people to engage in fraud.